What do you make of the Prime Minister's statement? Has the violence actually declined to this level which the Prime Minister is referring to? Has the situation improved so much that that hospitals are open, kids are going to school, and everything is all right?
Good evening, Vijay. Uh, I listened what uh, Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, what he has spoken about Manipur. Now, for me, what I think is that our Prime Minister have spoken something about Manipur in quite detail. That is after 14 months. Today, I think exactly 3rd July is the 14th month.
Yeah.
And it seems like that someone is probably preventing to update what is exactly happening on the ground. And probably if so, then he is probably unaware what is the exact situation. Probably he knows that the things have been stabilized or the situations have been improved. But my question goes that as per the report, 60,000 people, they are still staying in the relief camp. Those 60,000 people, unless they return to their own home or in the own villages, how can you say that the peace has been restored? It is not the point about that the people who are not affected, their kids are going to the school or the exams being conducted. I think that is not right. I think we are concerned about those 60,000 people who are displaced. So the question comes, either Mr. Modi ji ignoring because of the election is there, or is there someone who's preventing, letting him know that what is exactly in the ground, or is it something that
Nabakishore ji, are you hinting that someone is misleading the Prime Minister?
these are the questions, right? It's obvious. After 14 months, he is talking something about Manipur, right? Why he did not speak past 14 months? Or is it that he has given the task, okay, I heard something about Manipur, can you look after this? And then probably that person is saying that, yeah, it's everything under control. So my point is that we should responsibly, the media and everyone, the CSO leaders, I think we should inform Modi ji that the peace, the term peace, that will be justified only when the 60,000 people, they goes back to their own home, own villages,
Okay.
and their kids started studying, giving the exam. Then only we can say that peace has been restored.
Okay. Dr. Hauke, you must have heard the Prime Minister's reply, and yesterday we all saw, the opposition was continuously heckling Prime Minister, raising questions about justice for Manipur and chants of Manipur, Manipur. The Prime Minister did not reply yesterday in the Lok Sabha, but today gave a detailed reply in Rajya Sabha. What do you make of the reply of Prime Minister? Is it too little, too late, or do you believe in what the Prime Minister is saying, that the violence is declining, schools and hospitals are open in most part of the Manipur, and there's a perceptible change as far as, the last 12 months is concerned?
Brijesh, I wanted to, make a comment regarding the Prime Minister's speech based on certain facts that he was comparing the 1993 conflicts between many communities in this state with the present conflict, which is after 30 years. We have to look into this state or the Indian state capacity in this last 30 years. We could see that 30 years ago, the state capacity in Manipur was very less. It was unable to control many conflicts in remote areas, even in the Imphal Valley. Today, you can see that there has been an increase in police outposts. Police stations are being increased. Take, for instance, in the Sogolmang area, around this place, there was no police station. Today, we have a police station as well as police outposts. So the presence of the state, especially the police and other paramilitary forces, has increased in the last 30 years. So the capacity of state today uh, is so much, the strength is so much compared to the last 30 years. So it has the power to control any conflict if the state wanted. So the prime minister statement has to be looked into with that context. And regarding the schools and colleges being open, hopefully, everywhere, most of the schools in except the buffer zones have been open. But yet, how is the college functioning, or how are the institutes functioning? Take for instance, in RIMS, there are many Kuki or Mizo and other communities who were studying dental services, or who are medical students. Of course, the medical students were being shifted to Charasanpur Medical College. But what about the dental students? They are languishing in the in nowhere in the last 1 year. So have we thought about those students who have nowhere to go for the last 1 year? And about the university students, there's no
Yeah.
university in the hill areas except one regional tribal university. So those students in cultural university, agriculture university, Manipur university have nowhere to go. So, looking into this, the disparity in institutions between the hills and valley, these are not taken up.
Okay.
And Narendra Modi has to recognize all this. And there is a need for some institutional, justice to the hill areas right now after this conflict. That's what
Okay.
I feel. And the state has the capacity to control conflicts immediately at this
Okay.
juncture. If
Okay. Okay.
so,
I'll come back to you, Dr. Hakib. Professor Biswas,
Yes.
I would like to understand from you, before the elections, Manipur was discussed in footnotes, I mean, barring people like us, who have been regularly discussing Manipur and covering the conflict in its entire complexity for the last 14 months. Do you believe that, what Rahul Gandhi did, starting his second leg of Bharat Jodo Yatra from Manipur and Congress winning both seats in Manipur, Manipur has all of a sudden gained political currency in the New Delhi, circle. Do you believe when the Prime Minister, after a continuous heckling of his when he was making this speech by Congress and other India Alliance, where they were saying that justice for Manipur, the Prime Minister today gave several numbers, like 11,000 or more, FIRs have been lodged, violence is seeing a decline, and he also said that that the social structure of Manipur and all is very complex. Do you believe that that the process is improving, or the situation is improving from 3rd of May last year to right now, when the Prime Minister made this statement?
Honorable Prime Minister's statement has many pros and cons. Some of it you have brought out. But one of the most important thing is, what is the nature of this peace process? Seemingly, Prime Minister or any other authoritative statement is silent on that. Nature of the peace process must be based on dialogue, restoration of understanding, and returning the internally displaced persons, which is very, very important. Now, the statement had been silent on these critical matters. Merely stating that schools and colleges have reopened actually doesn't match the ground situation. The kind of anxiety, worry, fear, and concern that the communities were having in their heart is still remaining very much glittering. And therefore, there is no reduction of the kind of tension, the psychological, the political tension that were created by this year-long conflict. Now, how to resuscitate the broken hearts? That's the question. For example, if Gandhiji would have spoken in such a conflict situation, he would have talked about wiping out the tears, bridging the broken hearts, bringing people together, making them shake hands, re-establish love, fraternity, harmony. Now, those critical values are totally absent from the political discourse. What is rather present is a kind of a claim of a certain kind of success. No one knows transparently how that success has to be interpreted. No one has yet understood people who have died, how they are compensated. People who are left with some family members who require all kinds of support, including livelihood and income. How are they supported is really not known. People who really require larger dose of medical help and support, how much they are supported, whether they have been rehabilitated, total silence on that. And overall, the psychological stress and the disruption and the kind of obsessive compulsive disorder that has come through the conflict in a large number of affected victims, which is a matter of great concern. Whether that has been addressed, there is no such answer to this
There's
from
no
this
such.
statement.
Yeah.
Therefore, all these unstated areas are really Himalayan and they are existing on the ground.
Okay.
So, as one who understands the ground reality, would like to say that is not a kind of a militarization and remilitarization of the conflict. Manipur cannot be solved under the bush.
Okay.